Like with any career, it takes time to find your flow and you're always learning how things work. The same applies to freelancing. And as someone that's been freelancing for over a decade, I often get asked if I was to start again, what would I do differently? And believe me, there are many things. In this video, I'm going to talk through 3 things that I would do differently if I were to start my freelance business over again. So if you're thinking about going freelance or you're fairly new to the freelance game, stay tuned because I believe these are really going to help you with your business. I'm Laura Bean and this is Creative Little World. One thing I really didn't do early on in my business is set boundaries. I remember the first few months of being freelance, a client rang me at 7 o'clock in the evening. And I remember them saying to me, well, you're freelance now, so you work all the time. And it was such a strange thing because in that moment I thought, oh yeah, I have to, don't I? Yeah, this is me now. I'm running my own business. I have to be available when the client needs me. And I think that shaped a lot of my early freelance years. Unfortunately, what that meant is that I was quite often overwhelmed. I'd be sat there in the evening and I'd start getting messages from clients and I'd open up my laptop in a panic because I've got to do this now. And I'd set this expectation that as soon as they messaged, I would jump on their work. Now, what that led to is complete burnout. I was exhausted and I was quite often stressed. Anxiety levels rose because I was constantly jumping to when I was being shouted for. The reality of the matter is that there was never anything that urgent that couldn't have waited to the next day when I was in work mode. The problem is that I hadn't set those boundaries with the client, so really through no fault of their own, they were just doing what they thought they could do. But now I've learned from this and I set boundaries with all new clients that come onto my books. This isn't about dictating to them or setting rigid rules. It's about letting them know how you work and when you're available. I set clear deadlines with my clients and I tell them the best way to get in touch with me. For me, it's via emails. I check my emails regularly, but I don't have notifications on my phone. So it allows me to go in when I'm ready to take a look at what's going on. I also have my emails open while I'm sat at my desk. So if they do ping an email, I'm more likely to pick it up quicker than say a message on any other platform. So I always make it clear that my best way of working is via email. That might not be the case for you and you may prefer other means. You may prefer getting WhatsApp messages. So you need to let the client know that this is your preferred way of working. Now, the beauty of being freelance is that flexibility, but that doesn't mean you have to be available 24/7 for your clients. Now, like I said, I used to be terrible. As soon as I got a message in, I would hop on the laptop and try and fix the problem or get on with what they wanted me to do. Nowadays, I don't do that. When I do see a message or an email come in from a client, whatever time of day I've seen it, I know that when I get back to work, I can check and deal with it then. So set those boundaries early on. Discuss with the client the preferred method of contacting you. If you need to, tell them the sort of times that you'll be working. Set clear deadlines and make sure you stick to them. Keep communication going with your clients so they always know where you are with things. This usually helps stop them from contacting you at all hours of the day because they're wondering what's happening. And be careful about replying to messages outside of your working hours because you set the precedent for how that's going to work. So if a client thinks they can contact you at 9 o'clock in the evening, then that's what they're going to do. So be firm with your time and be firm with your boundaries. Oh, the email list. This is one of the things I would highly recommend doing early on in your freelance career. Now, we tend to focus on social media and building a following and we want so many followers. And I absolutely understand that. I appreciate that has its place in your business. but your email list is yours. This is the place where people that are actively engaged with you are gonna sit. Now think about it, even if people are following you on Facebook or Instagram, it doesn't mean that they regularly see your stuff or that they're engaged with what you're putting out there. Whereas with an email list, people have opted in to be on your list, and make sure they do opt in, don't sneak them on there. So when you have something important to say, or you're launching a new product or service, or you just want to build those conversations and relationships, Email is a much more personal way to get connected with people. So you could build your email list with things like lead magnets, quizzes, just a general opt-in to my newsletter. The point is to give this a bit of priority when you're building your business. You've probably been aware of the recent ups and downs of X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, when that got taken over by Elon Musk, there was quite a bit of outrage for people that had spent a lot of time building their communities on Twitter. Now, the problem is with any social media network is you've got no control over what happens. They can change the algorithm, they can close your page. You could lose all those followers within a matter of minutes. It does happen, but your email list is yours. It is just a great way to build connections for your business. I've done a separate video on how to build an email list, so I will link to that. But do make it a priority when you're building a business. Make it part of your strategy. That way you have a closer, more personal connection to these people, and I guarantee it will drive more business. Quite a common thing that freelancers do is they don't recognize that they are actually a business. And when I first started out, I didn't really look at it this way. I looked at it as me providing the service for businesses. I didn't really consider myself a business. I think it's just because of the language used, freelancer, self-employed. We often don't refer to it as a business. And because of that, I didn't really run myself as a business. And I really wish I had early on. So 2.5 years ago, when I relaunched as a content and copywriter, I made sure that I really focused on running myself as a business. In the early years of freelancing, I was really focused on filling the hours with client work. That meant I left no time to work on the business itself, which meant I was limited to how much I could grow. I really didn't understand things either, like the financial side of running a business, or the elements it takes to grow a business. Having processes in place for capturing potential clients and converting them into customers. I had no way of tracking leads. I wasn't doing a financial forecast so I could understand how my business looked and how I could grow it moving forward. I didn't have goals. I didn't have a lot of things. From the point of view that I managed to full-time freelance and earn the income that allowed me to do that, there was an element of saying I was successful. But I had no plans for growth and I had no way of building a business with a higher earning potential. Understanding the business side can be huge for your freelancing. It will ensure that you'll build a business you love and there'll be opportunities for growth and development. So it's not just as simple as doing the work for your clients. You really want to grow and develop yourself as a business. And I'll put a really helpful tool for this in the description below. I think it's a really important way to start your freelance business. So there we have it. Set your boundaries, build that email list, and learn how to run a business. If you implement these things early on, I guarantee it's going to set some really strong foundations for your freelance business. I've got loads of other things that I would suggest as well, but we're going to leave that for another day. So for now, have a think about what we've talked about in this video. Make sure you hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you get more videos like this to help you build the freelance business of your dreams. And do give this video a thumbs up and perhaps drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you soon.